everybody. 早上好，吃了吗？起床了吗？ Everybody awake? Hello, everybody. My name is Richard Robinson. I am proud to be part of this, the 8th edition of China ICT, right here in the northern capital that is Beijing. We're going to have an awesome, fun time with some terrific speakers and some really interesting insights over these next couple of days. I'm going to be emceeing a little bit. I'm going to do a few interviews. I'm actually going to be doing some cleaning and serving tea, and I'm going to be arranging the chairs after when it's all done. And I'd like to kick off today. We have some really interesting luminaries that are going to help us to jumpstart this whole event, and we're going to kick everything off with the founder and president of China ICT, Mr. Franck Nazikian. Put your hands together. Thank you very much.
Hello, 你好。对不起，我普通话说的不太好，所以我要说。
I want to speak English because I cannot speak Chinese. But next year.
To welcome you to the annual edition of the China ICT Conference. As Richard mentioned, it's already the eighth edition, taking place here at Tsinghua University Science Park, which is, as many of you know, the heart of the China Tech innovation ecosystem. I would like to take this opportunity to thank for their support and for their loyalty the Chinese government, the Beijing Municipality, the EU Commission, the US government, for attending China ICT and being part of this opening ceremony. I would like also to thank our partners and our advisors, and I also would like to thank you all, obviously, to attend China ICT. Thanks to your support, thanks to your loyalty, China ICT remains the #1.
China ICT 是中国的第一个创新的盛会。
This year, we are probably one of the very few conferences in the world to give access to over 200 early-stage entrepreneurs to money, attention from the media, and overall visibility. And we do that through two programs. One is the China ICT Hackathon program, in particular sponsored by BlackBerry and Pearson, and also other companies such as Taobao and Sina. And so the China ICT Hackathon has been gathering up to 200 developers who are still working on their hack as I'm speaking right now, and we'll know about the outcomes probably in a few hours from now. So it's a pretty interesting situation, and it's the largest elite hackathon to date in China. So we're very proud of this initiative. The other one initiative regarding the protégés, regarding the early stage entrepreneurs, is called China ICT Protégés. We are living in a very, very interesting time in our industry, as the world is now catching up with China ICT founding vision that considers China as the new Silicon Valley, not only for originating innovation of global impact, but also for creating world-class entrepreneurs. As a matter of fact, this year, the international coverage of the China ICT Conference has never been so strong. And as I'm speaking now, the whole China ICT Conference is live streamed over the internet through different media partners, not only in China, but also all over the world. And thousands of people are watching the conference live from Beijing. Why so much attention now? Because this phenomenon of what I call Chinization of global tech entrepreneurship is now at last gaining momentum. And Qihoo record IPO, I have the privilege to interview later on this morning Zhou Hongyi, the founder of Qihoo, or Baidu, who's scheduled tomorrow in our agenda. Or Baidu, who's now the third largest internet market cap in the world, right after Google and Amazon, are just the tip of the iceberg of this silent yet very real tech revolution taking place in China. At China ICT, jointly with our partners, we all share the same vision, the vision that many of tomorrow's global tech leaders are in the process of being originated right now in China. The era of a so-called copycat model from the West, if there ever was one, is definitely over now. And China is right on the track to become the leading superpower in tech innovation. So, of course, this silent revolution is creating unlimited opportunities. Today and tomorrow at China ICT, I'm pretty sure you will be able to grab some of these unlimited opportunities. So whether you're attending on-site here or online, I wish you all a great China ICT conference, and I thank you for attending. 谢谢大家.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to ask on the stage the Deputy Chairman of the CCPIT of the Beijing Sub-Council, Chu Shangyin. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Chu Shangyin, everybody. Thank you.
好，尊敬的各位来宾。
Distinguished guests and dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very glad to have this opportunity to attend the 8th China ICT in China. First of all, please allow me to, on behalf of China's Trade Promotion Organization and China's tech exhibition, to extend our great contributions to the convening of this conference. Thank you. China ICT, since its beginning 8 years ago, has been held here in the China High-Tech Park. Since its first round, we have had friendly cooperations. China ICT used to be an important part of China's high-tech expo, and every year is held in the latter part of May. China ICT serves as a platform for communication and sharing experience for entrepreneurs from home and abroad. Many entrepreneurs and enterprises have drawn from each other's and extended its growth through this conference and became the stars. It's a good event. It's a good platform, and I wish this conference a great success. I wish all the audience here will gain more experience and gain momentum and become the future stars. Thank you.
女士们
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's my great honor to attend this great meeting for technology innovation. On behalf of the committee, I would like to extend my welcome to all of you here. This science park is originated in 1980s. It's China's first and biggest technology innovation park. We have formed a very good environment for science technology innovation, energy conservation and protection of environment. In 2001, the total revenue for the enterprise in Zhongguancun has reached a very high level, and 50% are for the technology innovations industry. Many people have participated into this industry. 52% of the total employees in this science park. And those people participated into the industry of key technology. The number is so great, and we have achieved great success. Our objective is to establish this science park to a very big technology innovation science park in Beijing. We have established good cooperation with many privileged universities and many very famous institutes. And we have many uncomparable advantages compared with other institutes and science park. We have also established the good cooperation with other big enterprises such as Lenovo. We have contributed ourselves to all the high technology, and we have also contributed a lot of effort to realize our goals by 2020. We have cultivated a good ecosystem for innovation and startups. For all the entrepreneurs and startups, Zhongguancun is a very good place for your dream. There are 251 high-tech enterprises have gone public. And many of them have gone public in foreign markets. And our committee will continue to dedicate ourselves to provide service and assistance to these startups and high-tech enterprises. China ICT has provided a very good platform for the innovators from all around the world. You can communicate with many experts and investors and media and establish good relationship. I'm very happy to see that many innovators in Zhongguancun has attended this meeting to exchange their views and experience in innovation. And today's audience will become tomorrow's speakers. I hope this, and I believe in this. I wish this conference a big success. Thank you.
Excellent. So our next speaker comes from the U.S. Embassy, where he is the ICT team leader for the Foreign Commercial Service at the U.S. Embassy. Please give a warm welcome to Dale Wright. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming to this great event. I wish to thank China ICT for inviting me to speak with you today. I'm the Standards Attaché and Commercial Officer in charge of the ICT sector for the U.S. Commercial Service in the U.S. Embassy. And the goal of our commercial service is to foster the development of business relations between Chinese companies and U.S. companies. And I want to tell you that we've never been busier than we are right now. The level of commerce between our two countries has been growing by leaps and bounds over the past several years. And as you know, China is now the world's #2 economy after the United States. But maybe a lot of people don't know that China is also the 3rd largest recipient of U.S. exports in the world. And this is something that nobody could have predicted, say, 10 or 15 years ago. Our exports from 2010 to 2011 to China grew by 13% and is now about $104 billion. That's the good news. The bad news is that imports from China have also increased, actually by an even larger amount. So now our trade deficit that the U.S. has with China is about $300 billion a year. As many of you know, right now we have our political season in the United States, our presidential election, and so this kind of trade imbalance gives rise to what you might call China bashing in the U.S. media and by some of our politicians. And we can kind of discount that because it is the election year after all. However, it's also inescapable that we have to work to bring this relationship, which is the world's largest and most important bilateral commercial relationship, into a better balance. And it's conferences such as this, which bring together buyer and seller, entrepreneur and investor, that I think can play a key role in this endeavor. In spite of what you might hear in the press, actually, our bilateral relationship is extremely robust. And for instance, many of you know, of course, that Xi Jinping, the vice premier, visited the U.S. recently. And while he was there, they inked $35 billion in additional exports from the United States, as well as additional investment from China to the U.S. And Vice Premier Xi also agreed to promote Chinese domestic consumption, which will give a boost to U.S. exports and exports from other countries as well to China. Over the last few years, China has made great strides in addressing a problem that is important to the United States and our allies and well, other countries like Europe and Japan or whatever, and that is namely the IPR problem. The Chinese government has launched a campaign to try to reduce pirated software usage in government offices, and this has been very successful over the last couple of years. They've also launched campaigns to aggressively find and destroy fake and counterfeit goods. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and unfortunately, China still remains the principal place for manufacture of a lot of counterfeit and fake products. But China is increasingly seeing itself as an innovative country. And of course, the Chinese government wants China to become an innovative country. And I think to do that, this demands that IPR in whatever form be protected. This is not only for the sake of foreign goods, but also indigenous Chinese ones as well. Without this protection, China won't be able to make the leap to becoming a true innovative country, in our opinion. And we know that many Chinese companies are now facing similar problems and are putting pressure on the government to do more about this issue. One last thing I'd like to address is the issue of Chinese investment into the United States. It's been reported that there's $3 billion to $6 billion a year in investment from China into the U.S. We think it's more like 10 or 12 billion probably, because a lot of it comes through other places, the Caribbean or whatever, and it's not necessarily earmarked as Chinese investment. But even if it's $12 billion, that's still a drop in the bucket compared to investment into the U.S. from England and Germany and some other places. And there's an unfortunate impression, I think, in China that the U.S. is not welcoming to Chinese investment because of a few cases that have gained notoriety in the press. But in fact, nothing can be further from the truth. American companies are very, very open to Chinese investment, as is the U.S. government. And we are doing campaigns to promote investment now from China into the United States. And I think this two-way investment obviously is great for both of our countries. It helps with employment and just our bilateral trade in general. But I think the impression still remains in China that the U.S. is closed to Chinese investment. There was a recent World Bank document report, actually, that said that 31 out of 33 sectors studied in the United States is fully open to foreign equity investment. The U.S. airline and broadcasting industries being two of the ones that are not. However, the same study also found that, quote unquote, China imposes restrictions on foreign equity ownership in the majority of sectors covered. And as we know in ICT, this is particularly the case. A lot of foreign companies can only do 49% investment in ICT companies here. But in spite of these misperceptions, Chinese investment in the United States continues to expand every year, as does U.S. investment into China. So just as our two companies are working toward an even more playing field in trade, so too must we work toward a more harmonization in investment policies. I think time and trust will lead to the realization of this goal. The private sector can take the lead and show our governments how it should be done. And I think forums such as this one can be an excellent starting point. I want to thank you very much, and I wish you a successful conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. As an American living in China and two little guys made in China, half Chinese, and all my chips on red, I look forward to better and improving and China-U.S. ties. Excellent. Moving right along. Our next speaker is a first counsel for ICT for the EU Commission to both China and Mongolia. Pretty interesting. Please put your hands together for Franck Greco, everybody. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank the CNICT organizers for inviting me to this conference. This is, as Frank, my homologue, said in his introductory speech, it's a very apt conference. It's addressing some key elements of the Internet. The Internet continues to be a platform for productivity, for growth, and also a vehicle for expression. And it continues to be a strong success story across the world and notably in China. So I represent, as mentioned by the compere, I represent an institution, a public administration, and therefore I address this conference from this point of view. And I would like, in a couple of minutes, just to talk a second about the relationship between private and public. Now, clearly, the Internet sector is, like many other innovative sectors in the economy, but perhaps even more strongly, it is felt that sometimes governments get in the way. That if only companies could move forward, they would be best positioned to achieve the results which they are aiming for. Now, I actually sympathize with this point of view, but on the other hand, I have to say that we need rules, rules for the road. Someone said you have a very clear relationship, for instance, between use or freedom of using and security. A good analogy is you might have the legal right to walk down the road in the middle of the night, but you may still be robbed. I mean, you may still be unsafe. It may be a dangerous place. So the fact of the matter is you still need security. This is also apparent in the Internet, where greater use, greater penetration of this platform within society is still held back by issues relating to privacy, relating to security and safety, and also to limits on freedom of expression. Now, these issues, these challenges are ones which all governments and all industrial sectors, or let's say national sectors within the Internet share, notably in China. The Chinese government is fully aware of these topics, and I think in order for the Internet to prosper in the future, these challenges need to be addressed. And again, I point out that these challenges are particularly relevant in China. My US colleague mentioned IPR protection. This is also a very key, very raw issue, which will continue to be in particular important to those who wish to innovate and create and to have the ideas protected. Now, what I'm arguing for is that we need to have a public-private partnership in this area. Industry clearly has the know-how. Governments are there to construct rules which hopefully do not get in the way. And this will continue to happen. We will continue to foster discussions between industry and governments on these topics, but we also want to push industry itself to collaborate together. At time, I mean, of course, competition is good. This is what we are aiming for, but at times it makes sense to share expertise and know-how in the field of common standards, to share expertise in new business models. If everybody is approaching the Internet with different business models, this may not be ultimately as productive as understanding where the flow is, the main flow is. So this is collaboration by industry. Governments themselves have to collaborate. The challenges are global. The challenges about cyber threats are global. The challenges to freedom of expression are global. And indeed, IPR protection can only be addressed at a global level. Therefore, there is a need for greater discussion, greater collaboration, and I think more trust and less, so to say, less suspicion between the private, the public sector, between different areas of the internet, in order to continue to benefit, for all of us to benefit from this great success story. Now, I just want to really stop here. I would like to, again, recall that we should never forget that the bedrock of the internet is ultimately the people, the small companies, the academics, which are really at the core, at the forefront of innovation, of creating new things. And these should be the people we should continue to foster and to support. So, I think this conference is a good place to address some of these collaborative issues I've mentioned, and I wish it all the best in the next couple of days. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker is the co-chair of Public Policy Development. He's in the committee of the American Chamber of Commerce, Jeff Moon. Thank you, everybody. Jeff Moon.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be able to participate here in today's conference. I'd like to thank Frank and the conference organizers for giving me this opportunity to address this global gathering of experts in my dual capacities as a representative of the American Chamber of Commerce here in Beijing and as a vice president of Cisco Systems Incorporated. This is a very exciting time for China's ICT industry. Chinese leaders strongly support ICT. They attach great importance to maximizing the economic and social benefits of information technology, and they're confident that ICT can address many of China's problems in the future. China's 12th five-year plan identifies information technology as one of China's 7 pillar industries and provides significantly increased funding for expanded ICT research. At Cisco, we believe, and we share the government's belief, that the network is a platform for intelligent social and economic development. While we work with governments and customers worldwide, we're confident that China will be at the forefront of transforming how ICT shapes the way we live, work, play, and learn. Statistics support this belief. According to Cisco's Virtual Networking Index, an annual study of networking trends, China by 2015 will have a quarter of global broadband users and 21% of the world's connected devices and 11% of the world's internet traffic. The American Chamber of Commerce in Beijing strongly supports ICT development in China because information technology enables businesses to expand and to tap market opportunities in China in cost-effective ways. As a result, China ranks among the top 3 global investment venues for the majority of AmCham China companies. Today's conference is an opportunity for us to celebrate China's past successes, but it's also an opportunity for us to identify future challenges in the ICT field. It's in that spirit that I'd like to express the foreign business community's strong support for Chinese government efforts to expand broadband service throughout China as quickly as possible. China's State Council published on May 9th a new ICT strategy that emphasizes the need for a nationwide plan to expand broadband service. The American Chamber of Commerce in Beijing just released findings of its 2012 Business Climate Survey that confirmed this need. The survey found that at present, nearly 3/4 of responding American companies believed that slow or unstable internet access affected their ability to efficiently conduct business in China. Broadband is essential for all residents in China because broadband enables knowledge exchange. Broadband is the platform that enables all of us, including the entrepreneurs that will participate in this conference, to receive timely and accurate information, to share that data with key contacts and stakeholders and other companies, and to then make informed and efficient decisions. At Cisco, we believe that broadband is an essential infrastructure utility that is as important for economic growth as are water, power, and transportation. The impact of limited internet access has concrete results on businesses and entrepreneurs in China that are very easy to understand. For example, without reliable broadband service, employees and entrepreneurs with offices in both China and overseas cannot collaborate in real time to produce products serving their customers worldwide. Cloud computing, a trend dominating the ICT industry both here in China and overseas, is impossible without stable internet access. The fact that broadband is a prerequisite for cloud computing, the Internet of Things, network convergence, and other advanced technologies underscores the point that promoting broadband serves the interests of both China and its foreign trading partners. I fully agree with the Chinese government that the time to act is now, and I fully support the previous speaker's suggestion that we try to improve ICT in China through public-private partnerships. There are various infrastructural, technical, and regulatory barriers that are preventing progress in this area. The foreign business community strongly supports Chinese government efforts to break through these barriers to create a broadband network serving the needs of everyone here in China. Thank you again for giving me this opportunity to speak with you here today. I very much look forward to today's presentations and know that our conference is going to be a great success. Thanks again.
Thank you, Jeff. Nobody doesn't want faster internet. Absolutely, we all could use some more of that. Terrific. We have two more speakers before we move on to our one-on-one interviews. Our next speaker is from our venue. He's assistant president of the Tsinghua University Science Park. Please give a warm welcome to Shui Jun.
Because most of the speakers are Chinese, so I will speak just in Chinese. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to this science park to attend the 8th edition of China ICT. And here, on behalf of the Tsinghua Science Park, and on behalf of the innovators in Tsinghua Science Park, to welcome all of you here to attend this meeting. China is a hot spot for innovation, so we all convened here. And Tsinghua Science Park is an incubator for innovation. And this China ICT has took place for the second time here. So we feel so honored to be able to help this meeting, because here we can see the changes every day. This science park represents innovation 10 years ago. It is all of a mess here. But now you can see that this is a quite modernized science park with all the high-tech enterprises and initiators. Me and my colleagues and my enterprise have began our innovation 10 years ago. At that time, we did not have enough funds, and we do not have enough experience and talent. We don't know where to find appropriate projects. But now, we have become the best innovation enterprise, and our return for our shareholders is very considerable. When it comes to the China ICT, it is also a very excellent innovation event, and this is its 8th edition. And this has a great relation with science and technology and innovation. It has become a very influential and famous platform, and we are very happy to support such kind of event. We hope that we can still have the opportunity to hold the next editions. Innovation and need the talents and information. And in this science park, with several years of effort, we have formed a very comprehensive innovation ecosystem. This is the reason why China ICT has chosen Science Park. So I want to extend my thanks to Frank. I hope that you can take this opportunity to exchange your views and communicate with each other. In conclusion, China ICT is a platform, is a stage for all the innovators here. It is also a very good convergence of all the initiators here. We want to give full use of this opportunity to usher a new phase for everyone here. And we want to see a new era for all the innovators. Thank you.
Our last speaker before we get into our one-on-one chats is the chairman of the China Electronic Commerce Association, Yuan Dengke. Everybody, thank you very much. Please fill the walk with some applause. Thank
you. Distinguished guests, counterparts, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very glad to attend China ICT. Now, I'd like to extend congratulations to the conference and to all of you. Electronics commerce is growing rapidly in China and now embarking on a new stage of globalization and commercialization. It has a great influence on China's economy. According to available statistics, the total trade volume accounts for 12% of total GDP. High-tech developers and entrepreneurs have made a great contribution to China's economy and made their share to the China's harmonious society. The government highly supports the development, and the high-tech has become the forefront of China's economy. For many years, China's Electronics Commerce Society has supported China's ICT, and China ICT has become an influential conference in for China's entrepreneurs and developers. I believe that the China ICT will be a key conference to bring the positive influence, and I wish the conference a whole success and wish you all good health. Thank you.